Hey, what's up, everybody? This is VisitJoan, and today we're going to be rebuilding the Dreamer family home from The Sims 2. And I did this because, well, I did the Pleasant family home, so it would only make sense that I would do the Dreamer family home because I'm probably going to need both of them for some future plans at some point. But anyway, you guys, this home, it wasn't really all that hard to build. I didn't have as much trouble with it as I had with the Pleasant family home. I did make a couple various changes. First thing was in the backyard. By the willow tree, there is like a little altar, kind of like what I did for like the Goth family home. And yeah, so there's that. And also I made the home a little bit wider, just so because I feel like Dirk needed more space in his room because I like wanted him to have a computer and his room was like pretty tiny. And also with the upstairs area, they kind of have like pretty much like all this like random junk upstairs. Like, well, it's not junk, it's just stuff. But I figured, there was just a big chunk of space up there. I figured why not put like a laundry area with a washer and dryer and all of that stuff. But other than that, oh, and I did move the dining room table and made it a little bit bigger. But besides that, this house is pretty much the same. There are a couple of things I need to address before I start talking about the Dreamers. And this is the That Fateful Night version. And I did shift up the start of the game for the Pleasants, the Dreamers, and the Brokes. So this is going to be different than what you're used to. But you know what? I found a way to make it all work. If you want to know why I did what I did, go check out the Pleasant family video. But anyway, you guys. So we have Darren Dreamer, and the funny thing is, the first time I watched the movie Ant-Man, there's a character, the bad guy, his name is Darren Cross. And literally, when I heard that, the first thing that went through my mind was, wait a minute, that's a black guy's name! Oh my goodness, fandom, it does things to you. But anyway, back to what I thought that would be a funny moment to share that. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. We have Darren Dreamer, and he is an artist. And when he was younger, he lived in a desert town, and he was a well-known local artist, and he was able to make money with his paintings alone. And he eventually married a woman named Darlene. I think it's Napolitan. I really don't know. I can't read names. I tried, guys. I tried. But after that, they pretty much moved to Pleasant View. And because of that move, he kind of had to start over with his reputation of being an artist. So, he had to get a job, and he did. He got a job in, business career, and Darlene had a job, too. So they were both making pretty good money. And together they have one child, a boy named Dirk. And, they were happy together. And eventually got to the point where Darren got, well-known in Pleasant View as an artist, where he was able to, quit his job so he could focus on painting full-time. And, of course, he still had Darlene's income to fall back on. But then, oh boy, how do I put this? There was a fire, and that day, Darren and Dirk had gone out shopping for whatever reason, and they came home to find that their house had caught on fire, and that they were never going to see Darlene again. I can't even imagine, what that would be like, because it's never happened to me, but it did take a big toll on both Darren and Dirk. And basically, what happened is that Darren pretty much lost his inspiration for creating art. And that pretty much dried up their income. And they were, kind of barely getting by for a little while there, because even though, Dirk would have gotten Social Security, that's not really enough to keep the bills paid. And, Dirk was struggling with it too. He became what Kelly Clarkson refers to as comfortably numb, where he wasn't able to, feel any kind of emotions. And he kind of got distracted in school. He was a really good student. He had A's in school, but, he started losing focus, and his grades just slipped, and he started, quit caring. And pretty much what got him out of that funk was Lilith Pleasant. And I'm not going to tell you the whole story here, because if you want to know, go read Trouble in Paradise. It's out now. Link is in the description below. But basically is that she lit a spark in him, and she made him feel an emotion that he hadn't felt since the fire. And they really kind of grew close over that time, because Lilith was at that same time just realizing, how unfairly her parents were treating her, and kind of dealing with that. So they did, grow close. They spent a lot of time together. He kind of did get her into, video games and Pokemon, and they do, have a few things in common. So while that was going on, Darren met Cassandra Goff, and they became, really good friends. And after a while, Darren, his muse started to come back, and he was able to create paintings and, get an income again. And all of a sudden, Darren realized that that was because he had fallen in love with Cassandra. And unfortunately for him, Cassandra had no idea that he felt that way about her. And the feeling just wasn't mutual, because at the same time, she was engaged to Don Lothario. And, Darren would have heard, all these rumors, which Cassandra wouldn't have heard, because she's just not into gossip, But Darren, he tried warning her out of it, saying, Cassandra, he's not the person you think he is. And Cassandra, was probably just relax, Darren, you don't know him as well as I do. And he's a really great guy, and I really love him. And she did end up marrying him. And Darren, he kind of hoped that Don would be able to commit to Cassandra. And of course, that didn't happen. And Darren is a decent person, and it doesn't matter if the guy is a lying sleazeball. Darren's not going to go after another man's wife. And so he kind of kept his distance from Cassandra after that. And at the same time, Dirk and Lilith, they were really good friends, and he was really helping Lilith get through some trouble that she was having with her family. They were best friends, but after a little bit, they definitely did start getting feelings for each other. And one day they were just hanging on the couch at Dirk's house playing a video game, and something hilarious happened. They just started, laughing their heads off, and they looked into each other's eyes, and they both got a really strong feeling for each other. And Dirk actually asked her, is it okay if I kiss you? And Lilith's response was, only if I get to kiss you back. So they had their first kiss, but they kind of decided, well, we don't really know where this is going. We've never really had feelings for anyone before. Is this gonna fade? Is this, what the heck is going on? And so, Dirk, he wanted what his parents had had. He didn't want to go into a relationship that wasn't serious and wasn't going to last. And Lilith just didn't know how she was going to feel in a couple months. So they're like, okay, let's just take it and see what happens. But what happened is their feelings for each other got stronger. And to the point where Lilith did finally figure out that, what she did want is to be with Dirk. And she wanted it to last. And so they made it official and became boyfriend and girlfriend. And, it does kind of seem like an opposites attract kind of situation, because, Dirk, he's a very studious person. He did manage to pull his grades back up, whereas Lilith just didn't really care what her grades were and just didn't do the work and stuff like that. And that Dirk is really a good person. And, well, Lilith is too, but she, has that reputation because I've already discussed this in the Pleasant Family video, so if you want to know more, you can check that out. But she has this reputation as a rebel. She's got this rebellious, fiery personality, which Dirk really likes about her. But it does land her into trouble. And so she has a reputation of being a troublemaker, of giving her parents a hard time. So it kind of seems like, the good boy is dating the bad girl, but that's not really what's going on, is that they do have a connection. And there are things about Dirk that Lilith does like. She likes how he's driven to succeed and his sense of humor and all of that stuff. And so they are completely serious about this relationship. They really want it to last. But they kind of decided to not tell their parents about it. And part of that was because, of the stuff going on between Lilith's dad and Dustin and Angela's relationship and all of that wonderful stuff. But I think also on Dirk's end, it was because Lilith has that reputation, and he was kind of afraid that if his dad, found out about that, he just wouldn't approve, and it would just be a mess all around. So their parents do not know that they're dating. Now, a couple of years before this, Darren actually got commissioned to create a painting for an office building. And, he was in there to meet with whoever it was that commissioned the painting. And he met a woman named Destiny Robinson. And I'll get into more in Destiny into another video, but, they hit it off and became really good friends. And after, a while, they started having feelings for each other. And this relationship, it kind of escalated really, really quickly. I'm not going to give you all of the juicy details because, kids are probably watching this video. But Darren and Destiny are dating, and it actually started a couple months after Lilith and Dirk started dating. So, things seem to be looking really good for the Dreamers, and that's pretty much it, you guys. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I would also appreciate it if you liked it. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. And I'll be seeing you next time. Bye!